Most people on Earth speak more than one language. Well over half of the world's population is bilingual, if not multilingual. As Earthlings, monolinguals are in the minority. But which languages are the most common second languages or additional languages? That is the question this video will explore. So let's count down the 10 most common second languages on the planet Earth. Number 10, Spanish. While Spanish has about 474 million native speakers, including both my paternal grandparents, Spanish has about 73 million second language speakers, and I'm one of them. I used to be a bilingual teacher in California, instructing students in both Spanish and English. In fact, the United States is an example of a country where English is the dominant language, but Spanish is used widely as a second language. Another example of this is Belize. Also, many Spanish language dominant countries have regions where locals speak a different language as their native language, speaking Spanish as a second language. For example, many Catalan native speakers in Spain or native Quechua speakers in Peru speak Spanish as a second language. Spanish is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations, all of which made it onto this list of most second language speakers. Moving on to number 9, Russian. While about 154 million people speak Russian as a first language, an additional 104 million people speak Russian as a second language. Russian is spoken as a second language in former republics of the Soviet Union, such as Ukraine and Tajikistan, and it is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. And now number 8, Nigerian Pidgin. Nigerian Pidgin has the fewest native speakers on this list, with only about 4 million native speakers. But the language has an impressive 116 million second language speakers. Nigerian Pidgin is an English-based Creole language used as a lingua franca across much of Nigeria between people that otherwise speak different languages. Moving on up to number 7, Indonesian. While Indonesian has about 43 million native speakers, a much greater 155 million people speak Indonesian as a second language. Indonesian is a country with huge linguistic diversity, with Indonesian being a lingua franca. Most Indonesians speak an indigenous local language at home and speak Indonesian as a second language. One way to indicate that a noun is plural in Indonesian is reduplication, that is, repeating the noun. Anak is the Indonesian word for child, and anak-anak is a word for the plural noun children. We're halfway to the top of the list with number 6, Urdu. While Urdu has about 70 million native speakers, it comes in much higher with second language speakers at about 161 million. Although only about 7% of Pakistanis speak Urdu as their native language, the majority of Pakistanis speak Urdu as a second language, as it is one of the 2 official languages of Pakistan, the other being English. Onward to number 5, French. While French only has about 79 million native speakers, it boasts approximately 194 million second language speakers. My mother and both my maternal grandparents are native French speakers, and I am one of the 194 million second language French speakers. French is spoken as a second language on several continents across the globe, including Switzerland in Europe, Canada in North America, Haiti in the Caribbean, French Guiana in South America, Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa, French Polynesia in the South Seas, and Vietnam in Asia. French is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. Moving up to number 4, Mandarin. While Mandarin has more native speakers than any other language on the planet, with about 929 million native speakers, it comes in at 4th place as a second language, with about 198 million second language speakers of Mandarin. For centuries, Chinese speakers have used a logographic writing system that is largely based on the meaning of the word and not the sounds of the words, like an alphabet. While Chinese characters are still based on meaning and not sounds, in our current age of technology, in order to type into a computer or smartphone, Mandarin speakers, using an alphabet called Pinyin, now type the sounds onto a keyboard, and the characters for the word and all its homophones appear for you to select the one you intended. Mandarin, using simplified characters, is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. We've now made it up to number 3, Hindi. While Hindi has about 343 million native speakers, 258 million people speak it as a second language. Hindi is the language with the most native speakers and second language speakers in India. English uses several loan words borrowed from Hindi, such as pajamas, shampoo, jungle, yoga, guru, and bandana. We're almost to the top at number 2, Modern Standard Arabic. Modern Standard Arabic is unique on this list. Native speakers of Arabic typically learn a regional dialect of Arabic in the home and learn Modern Standard Arabic in school. Modern Standard Arabic is a language that is used more for reading and writing than for speaking, since people are far more likely to speak to each other in their regional dialect. Many of these regional dialects of Arabic are no more mutually intelligible than Portuguese and Italian or French and Spanish. Modern Standard Arabic is used by approximately 274 million people as a second language and is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. And now, we finally made it to the top spot. At number 1, English. While English has only about 372 million native speakers, over 1 billion people speak English as a second language, which makes English stand out from the other languages on this list. English is by far the most widely used language on the internet. English is also the standard language of aviation, which means that if a Portuguese-speaking airline pilot has to communicate with a Vietnamese-speaking air traffic controller, both parties will communicate with each other exclusively in English. For more on this topic, watch my video, Aviation English. English also rounds out our list of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. Now I want to hear from you. What language do you speak as a second language? Or what language were you surprised didn't make it on the list? Tell me in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this episode of the Palm Springs Linguist, please click like and subscribe right now to not miss any future episodes. It's completely free.